He claimed that fewer days of training are being made up for with extra hours every day. But as Mr. Shank will share, this contention is simply not true. The same head of ICE who contended incorrectly about officer training also testified about the memorandum in which he announced the administration's new policy to invade American homes based on a permission slip signed by his own employees in violation of the Constitution, which was distributed to all ICE personnel. When I asked for the email distributing that memo, he assured me that ICE would produce it. They still haven't responded because the email doesn't exist. Clearly, that claim was untrue as well. Today, we're also going to hear about the brutal reality of policies that the Trump administration worked so hard to keep secret. Anna Gibson Brown, who is with us today, experienced the reality of that policy on January 11th of this year. She's here today to share her story of her home being violently invaded and her husband being taken without a judicial warrant in one of the most egregious violations of the Constitution I have seen in America. For centuries, our government and our courts have recognized the sanctity of people's homes. John Adams believed that Britain's warrantless entry into American homes, they're breaking down doors and forcibly entering people's houses, was the spark for the American Revolution 250 years ago. The hurt and harm caused to Ms. Gibson Brown and other victims of this lawbreaking will be deep and enduring. But perhaps most troubling, Ms. Gibson Brown, is that what happened to you was not some isolated mistake or accident. It was the result of a strategy, a conscious and deliberate, purposeful strategy taught to agents carefully with a memorandum that was shown to Mr. Schwank when he was told what to train them about breaking the law and violating your rights. That is unconscionable. I want to finish by saying that I am hopeful that Mr. Schwank's example of courage will inspire others to come forward. It has already inspired us on this committee, and I think that the example of others before him are perhaps one of the reasons why he is here. We need more protection for whistleblowers. We need reforms, fundamental and far-reaching, of ICE and DHS. We need America to be as shocked and horrified by what we see here as they should be, because that's the way we will inspire bipartisan reform, and it must be bipartisan. I hope my Republican colleagues will take note and join us in welcoming whistleblowers and they're speaking the truth, truly speaking the truth to power. With that, Representative Garcia.
Well, thank you, Senator Blumenthal, and I want to, of course, thank you again for your leadership and for partnering with the Oversight Committee in the House to really spotlight all of the horrors that are happening across the country. We, of course, this is our third hearing on DHS and ICE. We've taken testimony, we've heard important stories, we've talked about the misconduct and, quite frankly, the crimes of this administration. Now, at our first hearing, we documented how Secretary Noem has been lying when she has talked about not arresting American citizens or detaining U.S. citizens. At our second hearing, we talked about immigration enforcement and how agents have been brutalizing, blinding, beating, and killing Americans and others on the ground. And Oversight Democrats and our Senate partners have been fighting for accountability, for truth, and for the rights of all people. Now, we have documented horrific and terrible violence by this administration and will continue to do so. Now, ICE and DHS are operating like Donald Trump's personal and